Hey guys, Amanda here. Pico is here too. I'm not sure if you can see him, but we're here to recap week 2, episode 3 of Bachelor in Paradise, season 6. So let's get to it. The episode starts off with the rose ceremony. It's the biggest group they've ever had. There are 9 guys, 12 ladies. That means 3 ladies are going home. First, Derek gives his rose to Demi. She's a breath of fresh air. Next, Clay gives his rose to Nicole. Wills gives his rose to Katie. Kevin gives his rose to Sydney. John Paul Jones, JPJ, the legend, gives his rose to Anyeka. Cam gives his rose to Kaylin. And then they're all wondering, alright, who will be called first? Will Dylan be called first to give the rose, or will Blake be called to give the rose first? Because everyone's pretty sure Hannah will accept a rose from either of them. The next name to be called is Dylan. So he obviously gives his rose to Hannah. Blake is a little upset, but he's called next. He gives his rose to Tayshia, even though Tayshia didn't want to accept pity girls from him. But let's just be honest. She wants to stay. She wants to see if she can meet somebody that she can hit it off with, So why not accept a rose? Then it's the last rose. Annalise is completely sure she's going to get Crispy's rose. Crispy goes up. Annalise has a big smile on her face. He says Christina's name, and she is shocked. She's shocked. Annalise, Jane, and Bibiana go home. I'm really, really sad Bibiana's going home. I really like her. I hope she finds somebody. Jane, poor Jane. She never had a chance. Poor girl. And Annalise. So it's the next morning. Some of the girls are just seeing Clay from afar, and they're admiring him, and just telling Nicole, oh, look at your man, look at him over there, he looks so good, and she's getting all shy and giggly and all that. And they're also very excited to be in control this week. They're discussing who will Hannah choose in the end. Will she choose Blake? Will she choose Dylan? Oh, here's Bella. Enter Jordan. He's back, and he's all about him and his salt spray, and his hair's looking good. Chris Harrison thinks his hair looks good. He's ready to try this again after it didn't work out with Jenna last year. So he's back. This is his beach. Who knew? I didn't know it was called Jordan's Beach, but you learn something new every day, don't you? So he comes in, he's got a date card, he pulls Hannah aside to talk to her. Dylan is nervous, Blake isn't too nervous. He's pretty confident that Hannah won't go with him. Jordan and Hannah are talking. Well, they discuss that they're both models, and it's like Barbie and Ken, as Jordan says. Next, he pulls Nicole aside. She's a writer, and Jordan likes words, as you can tell. Nicole gives Jordan some information about what's been going on with Blake since they've been in Paradise. Next, he talks to Christina and gets her side of the story. And, she tells him about, the whole Kaylin stagecoach situation. And Jordan is just so shocked, and then he finds out about him liking Tayshia and then also Hannah. As Jordan says, Blake needs to stop putting a spoon in all the pudding. Then Jordan pulls Hannah aside again, and Jordan asks Hannah on the date. She says yes. And Jordan starts getting ready for the date, and Hannah's just standing there on the beach staring into nothing for a while. I don't really know how long. Hannah finally moves. She goes, finds Jordan, and says, "Oh, actually, thanks for asking me on this date, but I don't want to start dating 3 guys, I don't think that's going to be fair to Dylan and Blake." So Jordan's a little bit upset. He has a discussion with Blake because Jordan is the mayor of Paradise and he needs to look out for his people. He tells Blake he needs to sort these things out with these ladies because they aren't going to be open to dating other guys, especially Jordan. Hannah asks Demi and Katie about who she should choose between Dylan and Blake. They say Dylan 100%. He's a great guy and they cannot trust Blake. Hannah goes to find Dylan, and he's really surprised to see her. He is really shocked that she's there. He was pretty sure that she had already left on the date with Jordan. And she says, no, I want to be here. I want to spend time with you. Dylan is really happy about that. Cut to Jordan. He's annoyed at the situation with Hannah. He really wanted to go on a date with her. But, he's Jordan. He bounces right back up and he goes and asks Nicole. Nicole says yes. She likes to play hard to get. She wants Clay to be a little jealous. So they leave on their date. They just, a little bye-bye. And Clay's a little upset, but he's joking around, trying to make himself feel better or not let his pain show a little bit that the girl he really likes is going on this date. Jordan and Nicole are on their date. They're walking through this jungle, and they see zipline, and this guy comes ziplining down, and lo and behold, it's Jorge. Now, if you didn't really watch the show in the first few seasons, you wouldn't know who Jorge was. He was the original bartender. I think in season 4 is when Wells took over to be the bartender. Jorge comes through, he zips down, he's like, welcome to Jorge's Torres. This is zipline. You're in a zip line through this jungle. At the end, there'll be a little surprise. Jordan's really excited. Nicole is a little apprehensive. She's scared of this, but she's like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I need to take chances. And Jordan's really encouraging and is cheering her on. It's really sweet. So they get to their destination, and Jorge's there, and he says, oh, this is a really special place. This is where I lost my virginity. And they're like, what? But, there's a little nice, cute little setup there, and they're having drinks. Jordan, tells Nicole about his past with Jenna, and she tells him about her and Clay, and then they also talk about Blake again, and this drama, blah, blah, blah. Just over it. Can Blake just go home? Please. Blake is upset that he hasn't had a good day so far in Paradise because of all this drama that's been going on that he's the center of. So then we cut to Kaylin and Demi and Tayshia, and Tayshia is kind of just annoyed about the fact that she hasn't really gotten to know any of the other guys because she had been spending time with Blake and they had a really good time on their date, and so when they got back, and so none of the guys were, thought that she was trying to pursue anybody else. So, she's a little bit upset about that. But girl, we got some time. Go talk to some guys. There's some cute ones there. Blake kind of is near them, and he's playing football or he's doing something, and then he hurts himself and his toenail falls off, and they're laughing about it, and I would have normally kind of felt bad, but it is Blake. But it's just weird, but whatever. It's anyway. So karma. Hello. Then Cam pulls Kaylin aside, and he really likes her. I don't really know how she feels about him. He wrote her, an inspirational note. It's a great thought, but he's getting a little obsessive. Cam is 100% sure he's gonna end up with Kaylin after this, and they're gonna get engaged. Enter Mike Johnson from Hannah's season. Oh, I love Mike. He has a beautiful smile, great personality. He's just a great guy. I really want him to be Bachelor. Mike for Bachelor. That's my cheer. So Mike enters with his date card. All the girls are really excited, especially on Yeka. Mike pulls Kaylin aside. She says that Cam gave her a rose last night, but she's still open to getting to know people. Then he pulls Onyeka aside, and she's so happy. She was really looking forward to Mike being here in Paradise, and she really wants to get to know him. So Mike ends up asking Kaylin, and Onyeka and Cam are upset. Then Jordan and Nicole come back from their date. They tell everybody about it. Clay is just so happy that she's back, and he gets to spend time with her. And she tells Clay that Jordan does not compare to him, and they go back to where they were. Mike and Kaylin are on their date. She tells him, I've had some really rough relationships in the past, and he tells her about all the women in his life, his mom and his sister and his grandma growing up with them, and they've taught him a lot, and he's just really great that he's had those really strong female figures in his life. They're having a great time. They can't stop smiling, and then all of a sudden, this mariachi band comes out of nowhere. Like, there's this big building, and then there are these curtains that just fall down, and then the mariachi, they're just there, and then some of them pop up from the wall, and it's just really interesting. It's kind of humorous. Then they start to dance, and the band starts yelling, beso, 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 which means kiss in Spanish. And so they do, and it seems like they enjoy themselves, so we'll see where this goes. Cam is just really upset. They're on this date, and he's just staring out into the water. So mopey. Demi and Derek, they are like making out. Wills is watching them, and he's like, you know what? I need to do something for the girl that I like. So he sets up this something, I don't really know exactly what it is, for Katie. So they sit down, and Wells is being so nice to Katie, and he's saying all the right things, and then Katie just starts crying, and she's just so upset, and it blows my mind how upset she was over this. Like, I just started laughing. I was like, is this real life? Like, what? I couldn't understand what she was saying. She was so upset because Wills was saying all the right things, but he's just not her jam. Chris B sees that Katie is really upset, so he goes and he talks to her, and he tells her, hey, like, I really like you, and I want to spend my time with you, and, Katie really likes him as well, and so they start hanging out, and they have a little smooch. Blake has something planned for Hannah, so he goes, he pulls her aside, he's like, yeah, I really like you, I really wanted to spend time with you today, but you were, Dylan was all over you, and, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be all over you like that. And she's just kind of like, I don't know, but you could have at least come up to me at some point. But she still really likes him, was really interested in him. So then they start dancing on the beach, and Christina's like, hey, I recognize those moves. And Tayshia's like, hey, I recognize those moves too, oh my goodness. And then they start kissing in front of everybody. And everybody is so upset by this because, number one, she has been with Dylan all day and being all coupley with Dylan. Number two, it's Blake. Like, come on, it's Blake. Number three, I'm pretty sure that she hasn't been telling Dylan the whole story. I think she's been reassuring him, yeah, I really want you, I really like you, but then here's just Blake. Like, So they're kissing, and then Dylan's like, I want to go over there, and the girls, and Onika's like, no, don't go, but then he goes up, Dylan goes up to Blake and Hannah, and he says, Hannah, I really want to speak to you. Blake is like, hey, dude, like, I was really respectful for you when you were spending all day with her. Like, let me have this time with her. And Hannah's just like, I don't know. And it's just really awkward. They're just standing there, and Dylan's like, can I just have 5 minutes? And Blake's kind of like, no. And then Hannah doesn't know really what to do. And then Dylan leaves. Then Blake and Hannah go back to where they first went and had their little conversation, and they start making out, and Dylan's just really scared, and he's just wondering, like, did something happen with them before Paradise? So we'll see. On the next episode, we find out more about Blake and Hannah's history. Dean comes back with a new hairstyle and a mustache. I don't like it very much. And then there's some other new guy that comes and takes Nicole on a date, and he fights with someone. And we end the episode off with Demi finding a footprint of somebody with 6 toes, and she's trying to find out who it is, and she's pretty sure it's a man. So I really want to find out. So hopefully they figure this mystery out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I made sense. I know I was kind of mumbling a little bit at some parts, but hopefully you get the gist of it. So I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful month, a wonderful year, and a wonderful life.